Okay, so could you clarify then what you're saying as far as like what women shouldn't be wearing?
Yeah, I'm saying that immodest clothing has a tendency to draw unhealthy sexual attention. And if you want to keep yourself sexually safe, clothing is a metric by which you should do so. Not the only, but it is a metric. There are other things that you can keep yourself safe sexually by doing, i.e., going somewhere with a partner. Remember the buddy system that we learned in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade when we had to go to the bathroom? You take somebody with you. They never send anybody out of the classroom without a partner with them. That's the buddy system. Why? So somebody can go tell or somebody can help in the occurrence that something bad happens. Another thing would be to carry weapons. Another thing would be maybe not go out at night because most crimes happen at night because the assailant has the cover of darkness. Another thing would be not get intoxicated when you go somewhere because you do not have your wherewithal about you to be able to discern right from wrong and make good, impactful decisions. Another thing would possibly be, did I say carry a weapon? Okay, if I did, I didn't. If I did, another thing would be know the company that you keep. Don't go somewhere where you're not familiar with that party. Hey, girl, I got a party I want to go to. Who is it? Oh, it's just a friend I knew back from so and so. And you want to go? No, I don't, because I don't know them and I don't know the people there. But y'all would go anyway. And then you want to complain about something sexually happened. You put yourself in that position. So at the end of the day, there are many things, and yes, clothing is one of those metrics.
Okay, so I thought, yeah, that's what I was thinking you were saying. I think as far as that happening, I think it's a lack of respect for people. So I think that I don't know, I know I can't say that word, or
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a lack of respect for people, and I think the lack of respect comes on both ends, from the alleged victim and the alleged assailant as well.
no, I don't think there's a lack of respect for the victim, no.
Oh, I think there's a lack of respect for the victim on the part that they don't respect themselves enough to not make the distinction between modest and immodest apparel. You don't respect yourself enough to not go out in public looking like somebody that's open for sexual business.
So I see, I can't see that correlation. I think that if a woman's going out, she's feeling good about herself, she's respecting
Why is
herself,
she feeling good about herself? Where is Moo? Can somebody bring Moo back up here? Why is she feeling good about herself?
because she likes the way she looks. She's happy with the way, yeah, she's happy with the way she looks
Why is she happy with the way she looks?
because she likes the way she looks in the mirror.
Nope.
Like what?
Nope. We just
I,
had
I
somebody come up here and explain it to you who is a professional in the industry of dancing, like sexual dancing. She's a professional. She just told you the reason you feel good about yourself is because of outside validation. That's the part that makes you feel good. If that's the case, and you don't feel good from outside validation, then why not just wear some clothes that are not revealing?
well, can I ask you then, why have I heard so many women saying that they get approached more when they're in like sweats or a sweatshirt than they do when they're going out?
Approached more? It's because men like a natural look to a woman. We don't like fake aesthetic. When women go out, they have a tendency to put on a face full of makeup. If you're talking about black women, and I'm not dragging on them, we're just telling the truth about what happens. They have a tendency to put on nails, hair, eyelashes, nails, all of those things. So the reason men like women that are in their natural, more dressed down state is because we know that's the natural woman. That's her hair. She didn't take the time to put on nails, so I know those are her nails. She didn't take the time to put on eyelashes, so I know those are her eyelashes. That's the real person we're coming in contact with. That's why. That's why men approach.
No, they could even be essayed or anything.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just tell me no as though I'm not a man and I don't know why me and other men would approach a woman that wears? Did you say no? How you do that? How you do that?
SA happens also when women aren't dressing or dressing that certain way that you're referring to, or
Okay.
going out.
Let me ask you a few questions. All right, let's go into that because you said SA happens regardless. You said SA happens when women are not wearing revealing clothing. Okay. Now, why is it that you think that you see the promotion of the message that it happens when women are wearing modest clothing? In other words, let me ask you a question. We heard that there's a museum. You've heard of this museum where they showed all of the clothing that these victims were wearing?
Yes.
Do you think that there aren't any victims that were wearing clothing that was promiscuous in nature? I'm sorry, not promiscuous, but revealing or tight in nature. Do you think that there aren't any victims?
No, yeah, sure. That's what I'm saying.
All right, cool. Now wait, let me ask you a question. Why do you think they didn't make a museum of women that were inappropriately and immodestly dressed and that happened to them? Why don't you think they made a museum of that?
I think probably because that shouldn't be the focus. It happens across the board.
Exactly. That shouldn't be the focus. They don't want the focus to be that clothing matters. They want you all to feel victimized, and they want you all to feel that men inherently are sexual predators. In other words, what they're trying to do with that museum, it works on you all. You're impressionable enough for it too. This is another reason why you all need men, to save you from yourselves, even when it comes to mentality.
I think it's more just,
You all can't make the distinction that somebody's attempting to co-opt your brain into thinking that men are sexual deviants because of that museum. If they had also made a museum of women that were inappropriately dressed, how do you think women would have responded and reacted to it?
that it happens in all facets.
They
Like,
probably
what?
would have non-receptively responded to it. Why are you all showing this? Why does this need to be here? Are you serious? So you're saying these women deserved it because they were wearing this? That's what you would say. Because that's what
Right, because it's true.
because that's the argument you're making right now, which is why they didn't make that museum. They made the
But
museum that catered and they made the museum that capitulated and catered to your feelings. They know that you all want to think that men are sexual deviants, so let's support that notion. That's why. And they do that every year.
no,
Yes.
no, I think that's false. I think if they made a museum like that, it's invalidating all the women who experienced that, who weren't dressed like that.
But why would it be invalidating them? It did happen to them, right?
Sure, but it's only showing it only happens to these women.
No, it's not. I said if they built another museum, in other words, keep that other one up. Keep the one where they had on modest apparel. Keep that museum there. And then make another museum of ones that were in immodest apparel. What would be the problem with that? You said because it's invalidating them? How?
I thought you were saying only have that kind of museum. That's what I was just.
Okay, let's say,
Okay, but
hypothetically speaking, let's say they only made that museum. What would be the problem with that?
exactly what I just said.
So it would be invalidating if it happens only in the event that the clothing is all modest. I'm sorry, immodest. But it's not invalidating if the clothing is all immodest. So you're saying you don't care about the ones that it happened to who were immodestly dressed? Is that what you're saying? Tell me something.
Right. Yeah,
You
right.
said
If you're only showcasing that it happened.
Wait, stop. Let me understand this correctly. Are you saying that you only care about the women that were modestly dressed that it happened to and not the ones that are immodestly dressed? Is that what you're saying?
That point, I think, of the museum was to show it's happening to women.
I'm asking you if that's what you're saying.
Yes. Like what? Like I don't.
This woman wanted to come up here and try to tell me about how I need to stop invalidating people's feelings. I'm sorry, about invalidating the SA. And then she just literally told us she don't care about the women that it happened to that were immodestly dressed. Y'all heard it. That was out of her mouth. Who next?
So you're saying that women who dressed immodestly are the ones who are being essayed, and those who are dressed modestly have less of a probability of being essayed?
Ones that are dressed modestly have less of a probability of being essayed than ones that are dressed immodestly. Yes. Yes.
But it does happen to those who are dressed modestly, correct?
Correct. Happens to men and women alike of those individuals. And in both cases, it happens modestly or immodestly. But what we're talking about right now is the immodest dress. If you want to talk about the modestly dressed, fine. And even in those cases, if those women were essayed, or I'm going to use the word RAP3 because I don't like essay. It's not, like I said, it's not concrete enough. But if those women are RAP3'd, their dress wasn't the only factor as to why that happened. In no case is the person's dress the only factor as to why that happened.
Right. So the argument is that teens, or like there's a certain age to where they should be dressing a certain way or shouldn't be dressing a certain way. That's just something I'm reading on the comment.
Wait, what's the question again now?
So you're saying that there's like a certain age to where a woman should or shouldn't dress a specific way so that they are not attacked.
I'm saying that no female should dress in an immodest fashion in order to keep herself sexually safe.
So would you say that it's safe to say that regardless of how you dress, you shouldn't be attacked regardless?
Yeah, you can say you shouldn't be attacked regardless. Fine. We can also, yeah, if you want that to be stated, sure. Nobody should be attacked.
Would you agree that regardless of how someone dresses, they shouldn't be attacked?
No.
You don't agree on that? So you're saying if someone dresses immodestly, they should be attacked?
Nope, didn't say that either.
Okay,
I don't agree that they should not. I said I don't agree that they should not. I didn't say that they should be. I said I don't agree that they should not.
So if you're agreeing that
because like I said, there are many other metrics that lead to an attack aside from the dress, but dress is a factor. So no, I don't agree that they should not. If you dress in that sexual way and you also out here saying, I F this dude and I F this dude and I F this dude, who gonna pop me? I'm outside. None of y'all got no strong Johnson. Y'all can't fuck, all this other, and then you go outside and do all of that shit. If you get attacked, then if you're asking me whether I feel like you should or shouldn't have been, that answer is very simple for me. You invited it. You invited it.
Okay, so now we're not talking about how people are dressed, it's about how they're acting.
I'm talking about all of those metrics, but I'm talking about one of those metrics in particular. If you're talking about, because you asked me a broad question, you asked me if people feel as though, if I feel as though they should be, if they should be. That's what you asked me. And I said I didn't make that statement.
I asked you, no, my question was, if you're saying that no one should be attacked regardless of how they dress, that's what you said.
I didn't say that.
So you're saying that the determining factor for how you are attacked or not should be because of how you dressed? If you're not saying one thing, you're saying the other.
If a white man, in a hoodie, if a white man in a with a swastika on his shoulder and in a white hood and a white uniform and a cloak walks into a black neighborhood, should he be attacked?
For dressing a specific way?
You gonna act like you don't know what the Ku Klux Klan is now?
No, I'm saying
Okay,
specifically
so let's
because of
not play.
attacking
Hold on,
another person
hold on, real quick. Hold on, real
without
quick.
attacking someone.
Hold on, real quick. Let's not play dumb now.
I'm not
Just
playing dumb.
okay, just based off of how he's dressed. If he walk into a black neighborhood, are you saying he shouldn't be attacked?
He shouldn't be attacked. No.
Crazy. That's why wearing what you wear matters. What they thought was sexual display, they might treat as it.
Okay. So one of the things that was said was that women who are, I guess, overweight or who are uncomfortable or self-confidence is lacking in them dress unmodestly. And so therefore, if they are attacked, it's their fault.
They have agency in their own victimization if they are attacked, yes. In
Okay.
other words, they have partial responsibility in that, yes. Absolutely.
They have partial responsibility for being attacked.
No, they have partial responsibility for how they displayed themselves, which invited unhealthy attention. That's what they have partial responsibility in.
Okay. So then how you dress doesn't make the difference.
Wrong.
If it happens,
Wrong.
it happens.
Wrong.
It happens to children.
Wrong. Because it happens to people that are modestly dressed does not mean that clothing doesn't matter.
Which also means that it's not the factor for why it happened.
That's not what it means. In fact, it means quite the opposite. It means that it is a factor because it happens both when people are modestly dressed and immodestly dressed. That means it is a factor.
Does matter the way you dress. You know, you want to know why? Because I am a human trafficking survivor, and I was kidnapped because the way I was dressed.
Mm.
And you're telling me that no human trafficking survivor has ever been taken in who was modestly dressed?
If you're talking to somebody that actually went through it.
I understand.
Okay, hold on. Let me speak. Okay, because the way I was dressed, all right, I was trafficked for 15 years. Okay, it was because the way I was dressed. Okay, back then, 20 years ago, right? You know, I come from traditional household, and I take responsibility of what. You know, because I didn't listen to my parents. But these people watched me for weeks because the way I was dressed, the way I was acting, and, you know, I didn't care. And I had children. All right? The way, and not only that was technology and everything, you know, they advanced. You know, they're on apps, they are watching people. The way these women are, you know, showing skin online, is bringing attention to third party. And once they have that...
Answer the question. Are you about to tell a person that it actually happened to who was trafficked that clothing doesn't matter now?
Okay, I'm trying to answer your question.
It's not a hard question. Just you have to know. Is that what you're about to say? That clothing doesn't matter?
Okay, I'm about to answer your question if you give me a second. Because I have had it to where it happened to me and I was not dressed immodestly, I would say
Do me a favor. Answer the question first, and then you can make your explanation.
I'm not
Answer the
going
question
to tell
first.
her that how she feels is wrong.
That's not what I asked you to tell her. I asked you, are you going to tell her that clothing doesn't matter?
No, just I can ask you the same thing. Me telling you that it's happened to me when I was not dressed immodestly. Are you going to tell me that my clothing mattered?
Yep. Sure am. How old were you when that happened? How old were you?
I've had it happen 4 times in my life. The first time I was 6 years old.
6? No, it didn't matter because you're a child. That was your parents or adults' responsibility to protect you. What was the next age?
I was 14 actually.
14. Little different. I don't know what you were wearing. I don't know
I
where
was
you
not
were.
dressed immodestly. I was dressed.
Okay, that's fine. I'm saying I don't know what you're wearing. But if that's the case, then yes, in that situation, you have personal responsibility for what you wore. Yes.
Okay, but I'm telling you that I wasn't dressed immodestly, so you're telling me that yes. Okay, so okay.
All right, yeah, that's fine. You were still responsible for what you wore, and apparently, if you weren't dressed immodestly, you chose well. Good for you. Now,
Every one of us has the internet. None of these teenagers are ignorant about what libido is. Even more so now with Gen Z, they're very aware.
if anything, they're more aware.
very
If anything, they're damn near more aware than anybody else because they're literally going through that stage right now.
Yeah, but I had a 2-parent household and I wasn't trying to show off nothing, but all I know is that I knew when other teenage girls were trying to be provocative with their dress and seeing it. I had my one of my second shooter who was with me recording the event. I was telling him, I said, you know what? This really bothers me seeing all these young women, young pubescent women dressed inappropriately, and I feel awkward recording them. Like, it just feels really weird. I'm paid to be here. I have no choice. But I would never let my daughter do this. And my coworker, he was just like, yeah, my daughter about to dress like me. And I said, like a dude? And he started laughing. He was like, yeah, because this is some fuck shit. He was like, I'm not getting this. I'm not doing this. I want to say my 2 cents is that, no, I seen these 14-year-olds, these 15 or teenage girls rather, sexualize themselves. And none of the adult or the elder women that was around that were dressed more modestly corrected them. They let them continue on. But let a grown man say something to them and we're the predator.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, you guys want us to not call these things out, but please stop. I mean,
Yeah, Chosen, it's like
y'all are acting ignorant, like you didn't know how to dress sexually when you were a teenager.
Yeah,
You
Chosen,
knew
it's crazy,
exactly what you were
Chosen,
doing.
because on one hand, they act like the predator is the man that committed the crime. I think we all agree there. But then on the other hand, they act like the men. But on the other hand, they act like the men that are trying to stop this from happening by making sure that we place all controls into the pot of consideration when keeping yourself sexually safe. They act like those men are predators too. There's literally, when it comes to this, for most women, no side of the aisle that you can stand on that doesn't make men look as though they're predatory, at least to them. Every person is a predator to them. That's why I said they built that museum of clothing where women were immodestly dressed, because they know women are susceptible to this. They're not smart enough. They're not capable enough of seeing through what is social deception and programming. Clearly.
And the last 2 cents I want to add is this. I thought we already proved long ago that countries that have more modest dressing women experience far less of SA. And then, but in the United States, where everybody's supposed to be able to be an individual and dress how they want, guess what? Tons and tons and tons of trafficking, tons and tons and tons of SA, tons and tons and tons of grapes, all seedless. Like, come on, y'all.
The countries that don't have female dress codes are the leading countries for SA and RAP3. So I typed in top 10 countries for RAP3. The top 10 countries are South Africa.
Oh,
no
man.
dress code. No dress code. No burqas, no none of that. India. Sweden.
Hey, if you don't like us raising our voice, then leave. Because I'm going to raise my voice if I want.
UK, Australia, United States, Botswana. None of these countries have a female dress code. None of them. None of them. Egypt, New Zealand, China, Ethiopia, Germany, Ireland, Lesotho, which is in Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
Yeah. Morocco, where's that? Africa.
Africa.
Russia. Zimbabwe, where's that? Africa.
Africa.
Literally, most of this happens in a country that does not monitor what females wear. See, people would have you believe that that it happens the most in countries where women are wearing burqas and I'm not sorry, not burqas, but hijabs, and they have their whole body. It's not. Those countries are not where it happens the most.
No, you know what they're doing now? They're saying it still happens. No, you idiot. We're saying that it's more rampant where there is no dress code for ladies. We're not saying it's just devoid of crime. That's never going to happen till the new kingdom comes, the new earth. You fucking idiot.
I get to arguments on Facebook all the time about what women should wear and how they present themselves, and they want to play victim. Here's the thing. We all know how the world is. From the age of 15, shit, even younger, depending where you're from. You go through an experience with your life. You see things, you experience things. Now, as a person, you have the ability to judge and to predict what might happen. If you decide to go and go do this, go do that because your friends are doing it, you have the judgment to be like, oh no, that ain't right. Or wear this. She wants to wear lingerie or not lingerie. She wants to wear something seductive out in public with just her friends. And not you go to the club with your friends, expect the worst to happen because that's your judgment.
Maybe not expect it, but just be prepared if it should.
Exactly. What you wear is a reputation of yourself. If you want to dress like a slut, if you want to dress like whatever the hell, that's the attention you're going to get. Now listen, people in the comments, I'm going to say this. Rape happens to everybody, but what you're wearing does matter.
Yep.
Okay?
When dudes get up on here and say, well, all right, well, dressing modestly might help you out. You know, acting appropriately, not going out being belligerent, or not just being a follower amongst a flock of women who are just going to get you caught up in a whole bunch of nonsense.
Right.
That's us trying to at least give our opinion positively on what can help you out. But the perpetrators or the panderers are not dressed like a hoe. Go outside wearing skimpy whatever you want. Feel good about yourself. All right, well, you're just making it easier or better for the people who commit these acts to again violate you or just do something inappropriate. And it's not.
Steve.
All I want to say, man, fuck these hoes.
Yeah, straight like that. I believe. Appreciate that, boy. I don't know why he had to come up here and say that, but all right. Anyway, next.
Or stated is, but a teacher was arrested for having sexual relationships with a little boy. I think he was in 7th grade, and she bought him a gun.
Sexual relationships. What do you mean sexual relationships?
She assaulted him, essentially. Like he was younger.
Okay, when I hear assaulted, I mean I hear somebody that did not want it to happen to them, and they decided that they were going to either fight back or not fight back. But there was somebody that didn't want it to happen. Okay, so you're saying that in this story, you can determine whether or not this 14-year-old, because he said he was 14?
Yeah, he was in middle school.
Okay, you can determine whether or not this 14-year-old wanted that sexual situation and encounter. Okay, I don't know how you could do that, but I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, so based on your logic, would you say that he had anything on or were doing anything as far as like being grown to justify why a grown woman approached her and assaulted him, essentially?
To justify why a grown woman did that? No, not to justify it, but to give agency and responsibility and accountability to him. Yes. Yes, there are things that he could have done. He could have been texting this woman back and forth. Did the 14-year-old have a phone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Was he texting this woman? Was he calling this woman? Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was he supposed to be texting and calling grown women?
No.
Do you think that he knew that?
Yeah, but I'm just saying off of your logic, based on
Yeah,
like.
so that's part of my logic. Part of my logic is, yeah, there are things that he could have been doing to put himself in that situation. Absolutely, yes.
I don't think so, though. He was younger. You should be the adult and make the decision.
You just recognized that he probably knew and he knows that he shouldn't be texting and talking to adult people. How are you?
Okay, and then I'm that point right there. Like, I think it was different. Like, because we had talked already. It's a difference between physical representation as far as what you're clothing. So, like, intentionally lying about your age is totally different from just walking down the street and you got your baby fat, let's say, jumpsuit on or something. If you intentionally lying,
it's not totally different. One is a verbal signal. Signals are cues regardless. You can say it one way, or you can perform it that way as well. It's not
but you could dress like a businessman and be complete on bullshit. It's all about how you present yourself. But if you're intentionally,
stop right there. Exactly, you could be, and you said it's all about how you present yourself. Agreed. Very good. It's all about how you present yourself. And that 14-year-old boy knew, with all these other adolescents.
15-year-old walking down the street in a skirt and a shirt.
Yeah, is doing the same thing intentionally.
But she not got a sign saying like, come.
You don't have to have a sign. Once again, like I said, Kayla, there are types of communication. We have what we call nonverbal, and we have what we call verbal. You don't have to say it in order to display it. Bars. You don't have to say it in order to display it. So what if she didn't have?
But honestly, that's kind of like the same logic, dude, that you kicked off said. Like, so if you're a black man, you black, you got dreads, you already fit 5 descriptions already right now. So why is it not okay for the cops to come shoot you in the face if you weren't asking for it? You should just cut your dreads, and if that's the case.